If you keep doing things that make you comfortable, you're never going to change. You're always going to continue to do the same thing over and over again.
Totally.
Which leads me back to you. You challenged us to do things that in the past would make me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And I would shy away from it. Now I enjoy the uncomfortable.
You get it now.
Yeah, like I don't want to do it, but I'll do it.
Welcome to the From Within podcast with Ben Osterveld. Hey guys, Ben Osterveld here. This is the From Within podcast. I have a special guest. I've been trying to get this guy, talk to his agent, and but he's Peter Estephan. He is an amazing human being. He's a real estate agent, a business owner, a father. I just wanted to get him on the show today because it's literally in the middle of such a cool transformation. And we were just talking before the show how we have these moments and times where like we have this big mental shift or we have a breakthrough, and there's moments where we're like in a year later or 2 years later, like, oh yeah, no big deal. But it was a big deal. So I wanted to be like, man, we need to talk about this on the podcast in the light of the people listening, because there's so many people that can get inspired from this and maybe make their own shift. So Pete, welcome to the show, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is good, man. People are going to love this. So anyways, I'm sitting in my boardroom because I have a studio at home where I do my recording, and my I've got 5 kids home at school or from school. So it would have been more of like wondering if I was in a daycare. So I've got good.
All good
now. So anyways, buddy, why don't we chat a little bit? Why don't we tell a little bit about who you are, where are you at? What do you do? You've been a real estate agent for how long? Give me a little bit of background on who Peter is.
Well, even before getting into real estate, my family's always been in business, some sort of business or sales of some sort in the service industry. And I knew even as a young kid, I even remember telling someone that I'm going to be a real estate agent when I was younger. And that's the God honest truth.
Crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, what are we now? Nearly 15 years later, 14. Well, I've been doing the business now, for about, I think 14 years. And it's always been a grind. I was always asking people, how do you get new business? How do you get new business?
I remember you asked me 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah.
New business. Everything's new business. And it didn't dawn on me until, later on in my career that, man, you got to service all these deals that you've done in the past. Like you got to cater to these people and treat them. It's not all about the hustle and go, but it's about how you treat people and making people want to do business with you. And it's return business. And it took me a long time to really grasp that idea and, actually taking care of your clients instead of just worrying about the deal. You know what I mean?
Huge,
so,
man.
Yeah,
it sounds simple, hey, when you say it. It's funny because I look back when we're sitting there at, what was it like? You were looking at hiring me as a coach. It was like, what, 2 years ago or something? Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to you and you're like, yeah, I gotta, I've had some really big numbers and the numbers went down and now I got to grind it out again. And that's just the feast and famine. That's the nature of the beast if you don't build a business, right?
Yeah. But not only that, but for me, yes, I had, being part of a team first starting, not first starting. I was on my own for 2-3 years by myself. And then my brother Shadi and I, we partnered together for the longest time. And, as we grow and as we evolve, everybody wants to start their own thing. Right. So now that's where that is. But in the process, going through, hard times, going through a divorce really set me back quite a few years. Like I'm still even 5 years later, rebounding from that. And, it's not that easy. And then on top of that, I have 2 kids and, I have a disabled daughter, which is extremely difficult. So, and doing so, juggling all that craziness with trying to, increase my sales and basically transform my business from zero, from the ground up, and basically starting over. And I've kind of done that.
Yeah.
I'd say within the last couple of years. So now nothing's ever a quick fix. It's all building, and people have to realize that, and you just gotta keep doing what you're told to be doing and do it the right way, and things pay off. Yeah.
Totally, man. So let's get right into this. So we're talking like what you've gone through just now. Like, this is cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
like every time I talk to you about, I'm like, man, because so let me just say, Peter is a hustler. Like, this guy's like, you meet the guy, you like the guy, he will not leave you alone until you get a deal. He's and he'll wine and dine you. He's an amazing real estate agent on the hustling side. And I know it because I can see I it resembles myself, and I'm like, I know this guy. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're like, where do I get deals? I'm like, that's not you're asking the wrong question. Like,
See,
I'm like,
but a lot of other people will maybe take what you said in a different context. For example,
okay,
yeah, I won't leave, yeah, Peter won't leave you alone, but in a good way.
good
Yeah,
way. Oh
like
yeah,
I'm not like
that's good to clarify.
yeah, I'm not like the guy that's gonna say, "Hey, come on,
Not the
man,
used car
let's go
guy.
to my
Yeah, yeah,
house."
yeah.
You know, you just want to do good things for people, and it's just you don't even have to ask; it just comes to you.
Yeah, see,
So that's yeah,
yeah. I love hearing you say that.
it's
And then
true.
so
It's so true, though.
it is it's funny because it's easy. Like, you just think about that the mentality of it's easy. We always think, oh, it's so hard, it's a grind, but really that part is pretty easy. People are mentally in a different place. You shift your mental game, and all of a sudden, like, you just shift. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's really
Totally.
not that hard. But so Peter, I'm like, Peter, you man, you need an assistant. I said,
Yeah.
and the first thing he says is what?
Oh, I know. I can't afford it. There's
Can't
no way.
afford it. I can't. Are you crazy? What am I going to get him to do? What do I get him to do? And I can't afford that right now. I've got the divorce stuff. I've got my daughter. I've got, like, I need deals. Like, I need more deals. And I'm thinking, no, you don't need. You need an
See,
assistant.
I couldn't grasp the concept of, excuse me. Okay, hiring an assistant. Okay, how is that going to bring me more deals? Like,
I
and
love
I
that,
know it sounds like it,
but it makes sense.
but it makes sense. And now I'm at the point where, okay, now I got to think of new things to tell her what to do because I'm running out of things because she does everything for me. Otherwise, I'd be sitting at my desk filling out every kind of form that we needed to for the one deal. It takes me all day to just to get this or get
Even
that.
you talking about it there, Peter, you slow down. Like, it's funny. Like, we have natural abilities. And it's like if you watch someone communicate and then they start, like, really need to process and think, it's probably not the natural place. Like, I'd be sitting there doing paperwork. It's funny because it's like, I'm like,
That's how slow you become.
that's what I mean. It's actually backwards, right? So let's just go through this. So you hired an assistant, and I remember very clearly, you're probably already like, oh yeah, I just give her stuff to do already. But the first step was that you had to shift your thinking around the full-time versus part-time, right?
Right. And it's still, yeah, I mean, I don't have a full-time assistant, but I mean, I could 100% need a full-time assistant. I just haven't committed myself. Like I'm not that at that stage yet.
Yeah.
Like I want to get my own office and all that stuff first to get a full-time assistant because that's just, I don't know. I mean,
You might not. These are all thinkings,
yeah,
right? Like,
all things
it's just,
that
it might
it's
not.
trial and error for me too, right?
So what we did was we looked at project-based hiring, right? So it's like, get her to do something. Hire someone at $15 an hour or whatever it is to do one task. I think this is the bridge that helped, I think, right?
100%. But then it escalated quickly because she had experience.
Yeah.
So now
Awesome.
I'm like, okay, I need this. Like I don't even fill out documents. Like even I mean, I don't even do my listings anymore. I mean, I tell her what to do. I overlook everything, of course, but I don't physically broker load or do this or fill out. I don't do nothing. Even
Yeah.
advertising all my Facebook.
Social media and stuff. Yeah.
I don't do
So what has that given you time to do? So
everything.
okay, give me what, so now you've, like, are we talking 50% more time in your life?
Oh, easy, like
Okay.
without question.
Okay. And then what, and just give me a sense of the monthly budget at this point for her.
Honestly, the maximum I've paid her in the last what is it? It's been like 3 or 4 months now, I think. The
Amazing.
maximum I paid her was $300. The maximum, and I'm telling you,
I will not believe you, Peter. This is what I've been trying to tell everyone. They just are like, I can't afford it. I'm like, you have a mental problem. You don't have a business problem. It's a
yeah,
mental game.
100%.
It's a full blown glass ceiling right there. I'm like, if I give you $300 to exchange for all your paperwork, would you do it? Yeah. Okay, hire. I can't afford it. Like, it's just this unbelievable challenge. And you're not the first guy, man. Like, there's
I
so
know.
many people that it's like, even to this day, I'm watching people. I'm like, why are you not hiring? I've literally showed you everything. And it's because there's something else inside us from a personal level that has to be dealt with. And it's usually control freak. It's
Yeah.
not a leader. Maybe they're going to, and it's also put a big magnifying glass on us. We have an assistant. We have a magnifying glass on us. Like, hey, Peter, what do I do? Or why are you doing it that way? Like all of a sudden you are like accountable.
Right. And
Right.
yeah,
What do you think?
taking that step further, being in your academy, yeah, okay, so this is one part of it, hiring an assistant. But another part is actually being accountable for what you're being, coached to do. So yeah, like you say in all your play and all your courses, yeah, I know half of you guys are nobody's going to do it. Right.
I
And
said
you
that
know
from
what?
stage.
I laughed right away because it's true.
Yeah.
I've been to other coaching things and you just never do it. But
No.
you hit a chord with people and it makes you like, you know what? He's true. Like, and you're like a no bullshit kind of guy. And it's 100% relatable to me. And
Yeah.
that's, yeah. And now I'm at the point where,
What's really weird though is we call it out and then you do it. Like, but the thing is, why? Okay, let me ask you a question. So there's these, and for real, I'd like to kind of figure this out. We've got a whole bunch of people that are taking 100 courses, coaches, and all, doing
yeah,
zero. Okay, what made you execute working with me? And that's just out of my own selfish. I'm going.
I'll tell you why, because it's not like, okay, there's other coaching coaches out there and other different, platforms that will call you once a week. Or you go to, a mastermind meeting or whatever once every 6 months or whatever the case is. But with you, the online course and then we can all see each other, right? So it kind of makes you subconsciously accountable because everybody in that academy is watching you, right? That's the way I took it anyway. I'm very competitive, so that's
Yeah,
that's how
cool.
I
That's
am.
cool. So it's community was part of the motivator.
100%. Plus, it's cheap.
Cool.
Plus, it's cheap.
I know. It's so
And
cheap.
I guarantee you, everybody else would say the same thing.
Yeah, for what
There's
you
other
get.
coaches that charge, thousands of dollars, which,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And so this was the bridge program, right? Agent from Within is you're online, you meet with me once, it's going to be
yeah,
once a month. And then you've got the community and you've got like
yeah.
70 or 80 different, now it's going to be episodes of all the different things that you can access. But I do also charge a lot for one-to-one. That's a
Well,
little
of
bit different.
course, yeah.
But I always knew that there was my heart was so out there. I'm like, there's so many people that literally can't afford it. And it's like,
And
I
it's
know
not
I can,
only that.
you know,
You're one of the coaches that actually preaches what they say. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You're a realtor yourself. Like you actually go out there and maybe not
kind
as
of,
much as you used to, but I
not really,
mean,
no.
right. But you've earned that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
But you've shown us what you say. My team did this, my team, it's still going to you.
And what's cool is I'm like, it's like our buyers dinners. I like started developing marketing on our team, right? I'm like, boom, bring it to the academy. It's like, check this out, guys. And it's live. I'm like, hey, next time we meet, I'm going to tell you how it goes. So I've always, from the day, and I don't want to make this all about me, but I think the day that I started coaching, I thought, I don't want to be the one of the guys on the fucking pulpit. You know what I
100%.
mean? Be like, hey, let me preach at you guys, and I'm gonna go sit in my $1 million home, and will you guys pay me? Good luck. And if you don't get successful, that's on you. So I always thought, like when I started, I'm like, this is before I even knew you. I convinced like 10 people to pay me monthly, and I said, I'm gonna start as a real estate agent, and I'm gonna do it with you. And
Right.
and
Yep.
and from that day on, I wanted to be side by side, brother to brother leadership and that kind of level of leaders versus that follow me because I'm amazing. And that's like, that's no good. And I think
Yep.
that's what it's cool to hear, Pete. I really appreciate that, man, because that's something I put on such a high regard. Like I practice what I preach because I hate bullshit like that.
No,
You
it's
know what I
true.
mean? Like,
1,000,000%. You're relatable. That's why you're relatable. Yeah.
so let's this is amazing. Like what kind of advice could you give? Let's talk about this. Okay. You've gone through a lot and I know you had a really big heart and there's going to be someone listening here. I'm like, oh man, I'm just like Pete. Like what kind of advice could you give a real estate agent that was like you, say a year ago? Give them some advice.
Honestly, man, it's like you say, it's so simple. It gets Yes, at the end of the day, we all want to make money. That's what the end goal is. How we get there is another story. So people can tell and they can judge you really quickly, just as I can judge, my next client that I'm meeting. People have an opinion as soon as they meet you. So it's not all about let's get the deal done and you know try and scam people, because there's a lot of realtors out there that just want to look for that quick deal. And I'll be honest, when I first started, I'm not saying that I was a scam artist, but I knew how to sell properties. Like
For sure.
it's
Just
in
deal
my
maker, right?
stuff.
Just go get it
I
done.
want to
Yeah.
make a deal.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
follow up is the most important thing. And I
Hands
remember
down.
like you got to keep in touch with your clients, and you basically got to kiss their ass. That's exactly what we do in this business, and we have to make them feel like they're either getting a deal or they want communication. They want to be looked after. And
Yeah.
and honestly, it takes us, and if our systems are in place like you keep saying, it literally takes 1 minute a day. Like not
It's so great.
so stupid.
Remember at Christmas, we sent out it was so cool because they're like, what do I do? What do I do? I need something to do. And I'm like, make a video, wish all your clients a happy Christmas. I said, do individual ones. And you're like, this is crazy. So you made a single video, but you sent it by text and just to everybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just a basic follow-up. And what did that do? And that took nothing, right? To video.
Man, honestly, I got 4 listings out of that. I got 4 listings out of it because, well, mind you, I've been keeping in touch with my clients before I sent that out, right? But it's just another thing that 99% of the other realtors or in sales, people that are in sales don't do. Like people are getting, like technology today gives you a chance to even if you're not together, you can be inside their house, be inside their homes with them, like with a push of a button. So, I mean, the more you can,
what you're saying, it's so easy now.
So easy. It's so easy to communicate with people on a higher level, not than just a text message.
And email's brutal, like in a newsletter. And the systems out there drive me crazy. It's like, oh, I got a system and I know it's out there, and I don't mean to judge anyone, but I'm definitely judging the system. And it's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a CMA to all my people I've sold houses to. And not one person wants that. It's just completely disconnected. It's like, I know a lady, she's like, this guy keeps sending me CMAs for 20 years. And what happened? So CMA, for the people that aren't real estate agents, is just a listing presentation or a pricing of a house. And she's like, man, it's like he wants me to sell this thing all the time. I moved here. I don't know why. I don't want to move. And like, what about just saying hi? Exactly. I just want to say much appreciated. It's been 2 years. I thought of you, crossed my mind. Like, it's actually like, it's old school, right?
It's like all the courses that again, all the mentors such as yourself, but I mean, again, you're on I think a different, more approachable level because you're, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, like you relate to us on our level, not like these other coaches that are like multi millionaires that just say, okay, this is what you got to do this and follow my system and you're going to do it. But it's like you're a robot, but they never teach you to say, hey, like, how's it going, man? How you doing?
How do you think about your business?
Yeah.
How does it fit you, Peter, with a disabled daughter, in a divorce, you being a great sales guy, you're burning out, like your actual story needs to be told. Then we can coach toward what helps Peter. That's the missing factor, because a lot of guys will build a system and of course, man, just scaling is easy. Build the system, smash some Facebook marketing on it, get people to buy it, but results is not the grading system, right? Like, and it's everyone. What it is I don't want to replicate me. And that's the difference. I want Peter to be Peter. And that's always, even how I grow my team. I don't even have my name on my sign. It's all my team's names.
Like for sure. Yeah. And like when we first,
you have to have your identity.
When we first started talking, like I was telling you about, okay, how much money do you think I can make? That's how I was. Like,
I forgot about that. Yeah. I remember, like, okay, that is so funny. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I'm like, do you think I can make this much money in like 6 months? You're like, no. I was like, fuck.
I'm like, no.
So, but then he's like,
it was a lot of money.
Yeah. So, but I'm there now, right? I'm
funny?
there now.
Isn't that funny?
But the thing is, you said, let's talk about you. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
Like you gotta, for whoever's listening, and I'm not like, hey, Ben asked me to come on here, so I'm here just telling my story, but every story is different. But for me, it's just, you got to find out you got to make yourself better before you can make everyone else better. Like, and we're real estate agents. We're not trying to tell everybody what to do, but if we're not happy with ourselves, we can't serve them as best as we can.
Totally.
Right. So until that's, now again,
awareness is massive, Peter. Like, even to hear you say that is like, it's just like a heightened level of consciousness now, because from the guy that's like, I need to make this dollar bills. I need to, and to the point where like, hey, how do I take care of me? Then I can take care of you. And these are those transformational shifts that that it's hard to be like, what would I say to you when you're telling me about all this money and stuff? It's like, no, like, it's hard to, like, you got to realize, you're like, oh, I got to do this.
Yeah.
Like, inner work. Yeah, you kind of have to.
After getting, honestly, like I look back, even though it's only been a few months, but I look back and I just laugh at myself, and I'm like I'm at the point where I don't know what to tell my sister. Like I have so many things that I want her to do, but but in my opinion, no one's as good as me, because no one can be like me. So I'm trying to teach her how to be like me, which is not right.
And that's the control thing. Okay.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now you deal with the control thing. Now she wants to work for you, because if you keep leading her that way, she's not going to want to work for you. She goes, I'm not fucking Peter.
No, exactly.
Let me fly. And you have to make sure that she has her own fingers, but without, and the balance of still being the boss. So a lot of guys will flip the other way and be like, just do it. And then what happens is they become entitled.
Right.
And then they take your business, and then you try to lead them. It's like a spoiled kid. It's like, hey, now can you take out the garbage? What the hell? I don't want to take out the garbage. Well, hold on a second. I'm your dad. Like, I'm telling my kid this. So that's called entitlement, because I just, like, so there's that really fine balance. So like, that's a control issue. It's a letting go. So control is just letting go. That's why people have a hard time having an assistant a lot of times.
And the thing is, you don't want to go too big too fast, and you just go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm now, I've even thought about the point to see, I struggled with getting an assistant. Now I'm at the point where I think I need a buyer's agent. It's like, and I'm not.
What you did was you shifted your mindset by action. Okay. You took action and you hired, and it was like, you trusted me in a way. And maybe I've got some evidence for my own business. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I believe Ben, I'm just going to do this because I just wouldn't leave you alone. And the thing is, there's a point where you got to make an action step in your life and make a stand and say, I'm doing this. And then what happens is, once the mental shift happens, possibilities open up. See, we want to skip that step of the hard action learning. It's like, let's say I want to go to the top of the mountain and ski, but we want to skip the ski school.
Right.
And it's like, that's what we all want to do. And I'm like, dude, you got to, and I want you to fail. What did I say? I said, most likely your first assistant just counted as a total write-off. But I
spoke to her about that. You know that?
You did?
I spoke to her about that. And I told her flat out. And she's like fantastic.
Yeah.
And she like wants to work with me.
That's awesome, man.
We've spoken about being full-time. She's like, I'm ready. But the thing is,
budget, I told her, cover it, make sure you run your numbers, buddy.
I know. But I told her flat out, I said, listen, I'm not going to teach you all this shit for you to quit.
Yeah.
Because
did you tell her what I said?
Yeah.
You're going to burn out your first one, because you're getting on the bike. You cannot jump on a bike and nail it the first time, most likely. But you see,
honestly,
might have done it.
I hope that doesn't happen. Like, I really hope it doesn't happen, but I'm sure eventually at one point it will.
But guess what? One thing that you don't have yet is just hire another one. See, that's the new thinking for me. I've got the best assistant for real that I've ever had, hands down. Like, but in my head, I'm going, I could get another one. And I got a big operation, dude. Like, we got 102, 103 sales already this year. And it's only halfway through the year. And what's awesome is I've only sold 4. That's my pride point, because that's being a businessman. It's really possible. It's really possible to have that. But what I'm saying though is that if she goes, the best I've ever had, I don't want her to go. Trust me, it'd be total hard.
Yeah,
just go hire another one.
I know. In reality, that's all we have to do. But
and there's lots. How many people? How did you find her? Did you advertise?
It was word of mouth.
Yeah,
it was word of mouth, and then someone referred me. And
so you haven't had the learning of the advertising yet. So there's a hole there. Eventually that'll be filled. So that's just business learning, is that once you have that hole, like where you're like, I advertised, I interviewed, I went through the process, I shortlisted, I picked the right one, I trained her. That's the process there. That's very hard to do. Like, if it's word of mouth, that's awesome. But there's a time where it's like, I'll just hire. I don't have to worry about it. I'll just go through the process of hiring. So that's just learning, right? That's just being a business owner versus just being a hustler. That is one of my favorite conversations, Peter. Hustler versus business owner. You know what I mean? What's the difference in your opinion?
Huge difference. You know what? I don't think the hustle in me or in people like us will ever go away.
No.
But it's just how much time, how time consuming being on the constant daily grind, daily struggle every day trying to make a deal. That's like pure hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but being a business owner is putting all that hard work that you're doing, putting it into a system that'll just actually make it easier for you. Like who wants to work harder? Do a system that makes you work, that's easier for you, at the same time services your clients and makes everyone happy. Like once you have your system in place, I'm telling you, yeah. So now I'm at the point,
Yeah.
I shifted my thinking from, okay, should I hire an assistant? Now I'm at the point where, okay, not only what do I tell her to do, but I want to branch off and overview. Okay, now is she doing everything the right way? Instead of finding more things to do, now I'm overlooking everything to make sure it's done the way that I want it to be done.
Yeah.
And it's everything's smooth. It's like, it's
awesome, man. So here's my only advice is this: don't expand too quick. You said it. Like I know, right. You know what I mean? Cause it's like that feeling of like, right on. I'm like, just sit with it for a bit, let it run. There's still like it's micro muscles. It's the big, you've had these big, like, yeah, hit the bicep, but now there's a lot of muscles that support a lot of things. And so the analogy is there's a lot of little things that'll come that aren't going to be like that. You learn now, like as you grow, maybe find a new system to add to, or add some more hours. Like it just keep growing with what you've got. And like adding a buyer's agent right now, it might be good. But my only advice I'd give you is if you're adding a buyer's agent, first of all, I would never call them a buyer's agent. I don't call buyer's agents buyer's agents. I just call them, they're team members.
Team member, yeah.
Because they can list and sell and everything. I just don't believe in just, like let them list. Why not?
Yeah.
So, but anyways, what I'm saying is that's going to add a whole nother level of like crazy growth and learning and everything like that. And that's, and the only thing is when you bring someone, especially where you're at, it's not like you're sitting on like thousands of deals coming in and you need to have so what you'd have to say is, look, you'd have to find someone year 1 or 2. Never ever bring on someone zero. Zero is very, very difficult. You're going to just train them and it's very hard.
Right.
Year 1 or 2 that just needs that support that now you can offer the assistant. So what you're saying is, look, I've got an administrative system that you can plug into. You've got me as a coach and a mentor. And then I'm going to show you the ropes and running the business, and I'll show you some of this stuff. And you're going to have a lot more time to be actually selling rather than doing all the paperwork. We're going to get that. So it's a different offering when you're building. So that's just my own advice on a team, just right now, is I'd have someone, whatever you do, the communication is like, no, man, I'll show you how to get deals. I'll bring you deals. No, I'm going to show you how to fish.
Right.
And you're going to get plugged into an amazing admin system. See, that's my offering. And it's like they join the team for culture. They join the team for lifestyle, and they join the team because they don't got to do any of the freaking paperwork themselves. As you know, it's very difficult to build the system that has an assistant. It's just, it took months and years to just get to the place of hiring. And so these people don't have to go through that. You give them that. You've done the work, get paid for that.
Yep. Yeah. I remember it's crazy how far things have come along. I remember at one point saying to myself, what's a CRM? Like, I didn't even know what the hell that was. I didn't even know
your client base for people that don't know either.
Yeah. I didn't even know or even think of knowing, because we always had my brother and I, when we were together, we always had an assistant and she would do everything for us. So I didn't even think that, okay, I got to put all my clients in a database and reach
that was the very first thing we did, eh? And what's crazy is like, it's not judgment. It's just the state of the industry. And to be honest with you, I think the brokerages are failing, because why wouldn't they be teaching how to build a list? Right. Like we're talking like, this is my frustration with the industry. Like, why are you not sitting down with each agent going, how's your list? And what
everybody just says, how's your database? That's all they say.
And what does that even like the training is so like, hey, let's get the mail out. Let's go knock on doors. And they do the typical stuff, but the stuff that really drives a business, imagine let's focus on just following up on your leads. Let's focus on getting your list organized. Like blows my mind, because you're not the only guy I've worked with that's 15 years in the game that doesn't have a list.
Right.
It's just so simple. Like we're talking, here's a real estate agent's retirement plan. Do 10 years worth of deals. So let's just say 30 deals a year. We've got 300, but make sure that every deal is a raving fan, just no matter what.
Right.
And so now you have 300 people that you've continually kept in touch with on a very simple basis, with birthdays, a couple free tickets to the Home and Garden show, just a nice Christmas message, really, because you've already built a relationship. You just need to continue it. So now let's just imagine 10% of them, because they're raving fans, people can argue me on percentages, but trust me, 10% is not unrealistic if you've done a good job. Now you're retired from every bit of hustle that you ever have. And all you'll do is 30 deals a year. You'll do 30 deals a year on your referral base. That could have been your story for the last 10 years.
Right.
But this is the missing factor. So how are we
100%.
taking, like, you know what I mean?
Like, I mean, why, again, people are always looking for the quick, just looking to make deals.
It's always deals.
If everyone, if every agent was saying, yeah, I'm making 4 or 5 deals a month, that's great. Okay, but it's not always going to be like that. And when they soon enough realize that taking care of them and keeping in touch with them and making your list grow, without doing anything.
It's your fucking garden. Yeah. That's how you, like, that's farming. That's your garden. That's real farming, your list.
So, everything takes time. And if people are not willing to, put in the time and put in the work, then it's never.
Yeah. I just think the thinking changes.
You just teach us how to make our lives easier at the same time making money, right?
Man. So let's talk about this. I think I'm on a mission for this industry is always about celebrating gross revenue. Okay. It's a real freaking thorn in my side because as a business owner, if I pulled my financials up and I showed you my financials and I'm like, look, dude, I did $1 million in sales. Okay. And now we're like, yeah, there's a number underneath it that shows how, let's take away the expenses.
What did you take home?
And so let's say I take away 20 grand. Know any businesses are $1 million businesses that don't make money? 100%. Like this is just basic freaking business. You can learn this from watching Dragon's Den and Shark Tank and all that. And so why is the whole industry celebrating a metric that is so backwards to actual success, which is net profit? Like 4 deals, great. What did it effing cost you to get them? Where's this conversation in our brokerages, in our industries? Why are we not celebrating an award for how many referrals Peter got this month? Because if you celebrate referrals, you will do way different business than celebrating gross revenue.
You know what? Even just saying that right now just blew me away because, why don't we celebrate referrals? Because that will actually
changes everything.
Empower you to be a better person to get more referrals.
Hello.
Instead of saying, hey,
now let's
make a deal.
Totally. And let's go back to how the brokerages do this. This brand is like, let's talk Remax. We're both with Remax. I think it's an archaic brand in some level, and they're really needing to change things because this is what they do. We've got the biggest brand. We've got the best agents. But is it true? See, the brand is really big and you're paying to put that everywhere, but do you really have the best agents? There's no freaking way because there's lots.
I don't think who cares about having the best agent?
if they change the metrics to saying our company in Remax is now going to stop celebrating gross revenue and we are, or at least give a prestigious award of how many referrals that you get, or something along the lines, I think their brand could dominate because they would be the best agents. The problem is the brand is getting to be a bit stagnant because it's great. It does. It's one of the most powerful brands in the world. But the story of we're the best agents because we're Remax, that's the story.
I just think it's a more trusted name. That's all. I just think because of advertising, right?
But eventually let's talk about that. It's a trusted name from the past. Because the thing is, if you don't actually celebrate, like the culture is people want honesty and realness, right? So if they don't feel like you're the best agent and you were told you're the best agent, now we have a trust issue. So it's not just Remax, it's all brokerages.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
We're the best and here's why. But the thing is, they're not focusing on actually developing the agent's whole life. They're not developing the metrics is on gross revenue. That's the point I was trying to make. Is that we're celebrating things that don't matter. And it drives us to just close the deal. It drives us to close the deal, right? It's money, money, money. Because that's old school sales. That's how you do a sales team.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Anyways, a little bit of rant there, but it's just let's the metrics of celebrating a referral is going to change everything. So if you're thinking about bringing on a team member, that's what you celebrate. That's what you win awards on your team. We have our board. We literally have our board of our own awards. And it's celebrating referrals, shout outs on Facebook, when we get a gift from our clients, when they take us out for dinner. Like obviously you did something to get that.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I mean, everybody, how about this conversation? People always say, okay, or this is what you taught me. What do you get closing? Do you get your clients closing gifts? You know, and then and I remember saying, people are asking me that. I honestly remember saying, oh, I don't care. I mean, I'll just get them some flowers. Like there was no thought put into it.
Yeah. Great
And I
conversation.
mean,
For sure.
like it's stupid how much we take it for granted. You know what? Because we do make a lot of money. Like the checks that we bring in, I mean,
Big numbers. Yeah.
they're big numbers. Yes, we have expenses, but I mean, if we would just take off a little portion of that
Yeah.
and give
Like
it back to the people that helped us
$100.
get it.
$100 out of the $6,000 check.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and those little things and little, just taking care of your clients, little things, unexpected things,
Yeah, there you go.
unexpected things, a $5 gift, a $2, like buying someone a coffee for $1.50, that could make through someone's day.
Yeah.
I mean, we could sit here and go on
100%.
all day about how to take care of clients or how to get new clients or just you just made us shift our thinking, and I think that's the biggest thing of what I took out of this.
Tell me about your daughter, Peter.
Her name is Alicia. She's 10 years old and has a very rare metabolic disorder. So basically, she doesn't talk or walk. She walks with assistance, but she has difficulty. She doesn't eat by mouth. She has a feeding tube. So it's been a struggle to say the least. Again, going back to the divorce thing. So I mean, you're adjusting to a handicapped child with another older son that we have, and then going through the divorce at the same time. So I mean, it hasn't been easy. Like I'm the most competitive and even outgoing. Like I will never try and let something bring me down or let people know or show that I'm going through a tough time. But believe it or not, man, there's people that are doing really well that are struggling inside.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
I mean,
Huge.
it's hard. It's. I mean, she's growing up now, so it's a lot easier. But for the last, I'd say 5, 6 years, 7 years, it was extremely difficult. And
what has that taught you, Peter?
I was just about to say, yeah, what it's. First of all, and I think this is what turned my business around, to be honest, because I used to always use my daughter's condition as an excuse. Like it was very tiring. Like it's staying up all night. Like even still now sometimes, like it's very tiring. But you know what? That's what God gave us, and I mean, we got to deal with it. So instead of using her, condition as an excuse, like I use it now as a motivation. Like nothing. I'm telling you, after going through a divorce, like no, and I'll use a woman as an example because I'm a man. So no woman or as an excuse or a child's condition will stop me. Like there's people worse in the world that have different, hurdles to go over, even though, yeah, my life hasn't been, a cakewalk, but I'm still thankful every day that I got food on the table and I got a happy life and a new future to, a fiance and new step kids and whatever. I mean, it's a new outlook on life. So it's
amazing, Peter. You're hitting a point that's deep to my heart. Is become. Sounds like you just become an overcomer, and so this is the thing about. I always say embrace the pain. It might be kind of rough, but I say the what you get out of it is what you just told me was resilience. And so when we avoid, and if you're like, yeah, I don't know why the hell God gave me this.
Yeah,
which I'm sure you've talked to God about.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, if we own everything, dude, my life has been a disaster of living on the streets, thrown in jail, like unbelievable trouble in my life just because I was, I was treated like a piece of shit as a kid. And it's just like, so dude, it was so unfair, my life. But I've never once said, poor me. I probably wrestled with it here and there, but I'm not a victim, dude. And what you're seeing is once you overcome something that's bigger than you think you can take on, you really become unstoppable.
No, I mean,
you can take on any challenge. Like it's like, well, throw one at me.
That's what I mean. Like what excuse I used to say to myself sometimes, what excuse am I going to come up with today where whatever. I did a deal the other day, but whatever, it's good enough for now. Like I just had no motivation.
Mm.
So I mean, but no matter what you and I say, or no matter what advice we give people, there's no way that they're gonna get it right away. Like you have to experience it in order to go.
Mm.
You gotta go through it in order to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, now I see what they were saying.
Yeah,
But
it's
before I
totally, man.
couldn't see
Story
it.
of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, like you gotta go through the growing pains. Obviously, that's why it's called that,
Yeah.
to get where you are. But nothing in life is free. Nothing.
I think, and nor should it be. Like, I'm okay with free. Like, I'm not pushing it away, but I feel like when it's like a kid. If you just always tied his shoes, and then he'd
Never
never
learn.
grow.
Yeah,
But
100%.
and what if you let him, like he cries and cries, and you just let him? I'll help you, but you got to do it. You can do it, not a dick. Like,
Yeah, of course.
learn your lesson. I'm saying, like, come on, buddy, you got this.
And you know what? I
You know
used to
what?
be like that. Even sorry to say,
Wow.
man, even to my kids sometimes, like going through what I've been through, like, man, like it's like sometimes I used to be an asshole. Like it's
Yeah, for sure,
so
man.
much stress
Totally.
and pressure on you. Like it's just human nature to have anger issues sometimes, or
Yeah.
to let out your emotions. But
It's pressure.
yeah,
Like you put any human being under enough pressure, you're getting the bad side of them.
yeah,
It's something I spend a lot of time thinking about myself, because I can get like that, dude. I can be an asshole. I can be angry.
sure.
And my background's bad like that. Like I feel like I'm healed now. But if you put me under enough pressure, I might get pissed off.
But it's all about like that's what I mean. It comes back to you. Like, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with the pressure? Like, that's why we go back to saying, like, fix yourself. Know what's wrong with yourself first. Then everything. Once you're happy, like
Dude,
hopefully
my
everyone gets
mentor, my
happy.
mentor, Philip McKernan, always said that your business is just an extension of who you are. It's just part of your arm. And so that's why I love being a business coach, quote unquote, because I can see who you are. Because I'll look what's going on in your business, and it literally is just me looking into your life. That's literally the secret of the whole thing. Like, it's my way of working with people and helping people heal, helping people hit their glass ceilings, get breakthrough, be happier, marriages be better. Like, that's my real heart, man. I don't care about you making money, but by the way, but we work on that. And everyone makes money.
Of
So
course.
it's just
Yeah.
like this little magic we found, but you work on your personal stuff. That's why nothing works out there, dude, is because they do it backwards.
It's true. Like once you, like again, when that day I met you at Starbucks for one of our, when you were trying to get me to join your academy, like you pull up in your van, and nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, it's just you hit a chord with people, and you like once you make your life more simple, like who gives a fuck what people think,
Who
what they say,
fucking cares?
that who
Like,
gives
I
a
do,
shit?
but who cares? I'm not going to let that run me.
Well, and nor
People
should it,
care,
but
but
who gives a shit what people
who gives
say
a shit?
anyway?
Who?
It's
That's
and
freedom, man. That's real freedom. People want to have inner peace. They want to have freedom. They want to think money buys you freedom. How about not care what people think? There's
Yeah.
freedom.
So I mean, oh, you made all this money now. Oh, now you have to go out and get a brand new, $80,000 car. What I mean, if you're happy, like you can truly say that you're happy at home and you've simplified your life, I'm telling you, it just
Mm.
honestly my business now, because I'm happy, just business comes at me.
So crazy. It's magnetic,
Just
right?
it's crazy. Like it's honestly, I don't even know how to
I know, man.
describe it. Like my
Dude,
fiance
you're calling it.
just took a
I
trip.
told people I can't explain it either. I see people all the time going through this process. And all of a sudden, they're like, I don't know what it is. I'm just lucky, I guess. I'm like, no,
I
your
know.
energy
Like
changes,
we
man.
just took a trip. I was telling you, we went down to Seattle, long drive, me and the wife, and no kids around, so we got a lot of
Nice.
chance to
Oh,
talk. And I
nice.
mean, it's good to reconnect, but at the same time, like I was working the whole trip. Like people, not that I was working 24, but getting calls. My fiance is like, do you ever stop? Like,
Yeah,
Peter, I
yeah.
need you to sell my house. Okay, well, I need to write an
But
offer.
but the right calls.
Exactly. No, no,
The right
yes,
calls. Like, those
yes,
calls are like, yes, but I'm away for 3 days.
yeah,
Let's meet and set a meeting. That's your business, man. You
totally.
run a business. People think we'll just shut it down. There's no such thing
See,
unless you
but
can get another agent to run that, but that's
no,
different.
but what I was doing was, even though I was working here and there, I mean, what was I doing? Forward everything to my assistant,
Yeah.
forwarding,
It's so great.
like I had, yeah, I mean, it was, I just wanted to make sure she was doing what I was telling her to do, but that's how easy it was just to send
Yeah.
it off to someone
Now
else.
let's compare that just to bring it home and beat this thing up. Is that if you didn't have that assistant, okay,
There's no way.
you're on a trip with your girl.
Yeah.
What happens?
That trip doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. And if you
Happen.
did happen, you are not there. Then you
Oh,
feel like a bag of shit.
yep.
You feel guilty.
Yep.
And then you feel trapped. And then that energy creates your life.
Yep.
So right now, your energy is light. Your energy is happy. And what's going to create is your life. Everything's back to the internal energy. This is quantum physics. It's just straight up what it is. You are magnetic. If I'm angry all the time, people are not going to want to be around me. Like, we're really simple. If I'm super happy and my energy is really good, like, man, people want to be around me. It's legitimately should be actually what all we work on. So what causes your energy to go low?
Yeah.
Go high.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a beautiful story. You know what? It's funny. Another shift in the mental game I wanted to bounce today is the shift in thinking around building a life paid for by real estate versus make a shit ton of money in real estate and then go have a life.
Yeah.
It may look the same. Tell me what you think about that. Now that's a shift you've had, right?
Oh, like totally. It's your last statement about making a shitload of money, then going to live your life is totally backwards. I mean,
We've all done it.
we've all done it and we're still doing it. Like we're still, I mean, neither
Yeah,
one of
for
us,
sure. For sure. It's
neither you or I is going to say, oh, if somebody wanted to go grab this deal, oh, we're going to go get it. We're going to go make money.
I actually would send it to my team, but that's fine.
Well, I'm not there yet.
But I would definitely get the deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, either way, we're going to make money. It's just slow down and do it the right way.
You know what it is? What do you want? This is the hardest question and the best question, my favorite question. I ask it every single day. Because if I don't know what I want, I'm driving without a map. Because I can't make decisions. And like everything needs to come back to that shining star, the guiding star is what do you want? Know what I want? I want to live an adventurous life. I would like to do speaking all over the place. I'd like to be able to impact people around the world. I'd like to impact people one at a time. And I want my kids to be fucking into me. And I want my wife to be into me. And so now when I make decisions, it's impact and my family and adventure and do a cool shit. But that means that trust me, this is years and years, and I'm still not 100% clear because I'm going to evolve. But what do you want? Now let's build the business to get it.
Yeah. See, like my answer to that is, what do I want? Like, you know what? I don't even think about money. I just want to be happy. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Been through a lot. Like, I just want to be happy. But unfortunately, in the beginning, in order to get happy, you have to go through some necessary steps and hurdles that you may not want to. And that's what's making you've prolonged it for so many years because you just don't want to face your challenges. But once you get over those humps, man, I'm telling you, life just does a total 360 and you're just a complete, like for me, I'm just a completely different person.
Amazing, man.
Different business mindset. Like I have more energy. Just
it's crazy, man. So cool.
Happy,
so cool.
So much for someone, I believe.
So then when you make those decisions, it's like, should I get a buyer's agent? Okay, how is this going to affect me being happy? Like, and that's the thought that has to happen. Not like, hey, this will make more revenue or I will have more time. No. Does this move me toward my goal of happiness? And you can define happiness even better. Like to walk out, like what is happiness? What makes me happy? Is there different levels of happiness? Like this is what I do all day in my head. Like I'm dissecting and bringing that out. Like I would write down happiness and like a mind map it. Like you put a happiness in the middle of the circle and then just write a bunch of lines and describe what happiness is to you. And then do it again and again and again. And then just try to draw this whole thing out and going, if you can really get clear on what happiness is for you, now let's build the business to get that. Because you're going to spend 15 freaking years trying to get something that you did not define.
Yep.
I had a meeting with a guy. He's a super top producer, super good guy. Sat down with him and said, what do you want? He goes, I want 10 agents on my team. Right. And so they look at me and they're like, he goes, I want what you have. First of all, I want what you have. Now look at what people do. How the hell does he know what I have? Hey, what, social media? You've never seen me fight with my wife. You've never seen me yell at my kids. You've never seen me like be a lazy bum. You don't know what my team does every day. You don't know. But from social media, I'm a big, successful real estate agent with a lot of agents. And so you don't know the truth. And I am a good dude. I am a good dad. But I'm just saying that you don't know the truth. So at first, that was the first thing I was. So then he goes, I want 10 agents. I want to be like you. Like, meaning like he thinks that I just rake in the dough and I just live all my life. I'm that guy with the beach and my computer, and I'm like, it's just a reality check. I work, man. Like I work. I just do shit I love to do. Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I said, dude, why 10? Like, it's funny because I knew as soon as he said 10, that's just a number he just out of his head.
Yeah.
You know what that means? He doesn't know what he wants. And that's the scariest place ever, because he's about to grow a massive business in a direction that is a complete random crapshoot to hopefully it's a place where he wants to go. So what that leads to, if it isn't, his relationships will be unbelievably pressurized, potentially break. His health might break. He might become very wealthy. It might be successful because he's a grinder of all grinders. He'll get it done. But what does he want at the end? He's going to go, why did I do this? So let's start with going, what do we want? What does it mean? Yep. Let's get that. I have one other guy I'm coaching. He's a fascinating guy. He goes, I want to do the most minimal amount of deals I can to get the life I want. And I'm like, you're my guy. He's like, can you just help me with that? I'm like, yep. Let's find out what you want. Let's build a business to pay for it. Like, it's a different plan, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's going to have their own desires, their own plans, their own goals. And for me, I mean, sure, the more money I make, great. But I mean, I got a goal set that I don't think is too, far-fetched. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think for people that are immediately wanting to, to join your academy or to do whatever, or they want to just make more money, like, I mean, you can't expect things to happen overnight. Like, it just doesn't happen. So when you change your thinking and take care of yourself, man, I mean, again,
it opens the doors. 100%.
Yeah,
it does. It does. So Peter, I think this is really cool, man. I think that your transformation in the last 6 months has been crazy, and it's really just the academy. You're not even in any VIP programs. We're not even really doing any one-to-one coaching or anything. It's just really cool to see you take a hold of it, and we have had, because we've had a bit of a relationship before. We've had some meetings and stuff, but it's just really cool to see that transformation. I want to catch this on camera, and I wanted to catch this on audio because you will go back and we've almost missed it. You know what I mean? It's almost like we don't have the actual real before and after. We were sitting there telling everyone, well, I'm going to make $500,000. $500,000's my goal. And it's like, now you're like totally different. And so we missed it a little bit. But the thing is, I wanted to always have this because there's so many people that are struggling and they're making good money, but they're not moving forward. And they just grind it out every year, and they make a $300,000 a year, and then they make $100,000 because something happens. The problem with not having an actual assistant and a business and some systems is that anything that goes wrong takes you out. See, right now, if you had this, even as an assistant, and went through the divorce, it'd be different.
Oh my God, yeah.
You see what I mean by that? Like, business is actually a very safe place. Is having that team and having the assistant very safe, because you can take a hit and your business doesn't crash.
That's right.
It's security. It's so you're in that now, and I'm sure you got challenges coming, but we've had the major mind shifts happen and the heart shifts, and you've got your values in line. Like, it's just a matter of doing it now and just making sure you stay on track to make sure you get your, like, obviously there's cool marketing we could talk about and all the different strategies and all the cool stuff. There's so many cool conversations that's in the academy, right? Like, we can dig all that up and it's all recorded, but now that it's chiropractically adjusted, now you can run the race. Now let's go.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you go through the steps, and again, nothing happens immediately. And people have to, and I was at the point where, like, no, I need money right now.
Well, you did.
Right? Like, I need money, like, right now. Like,
I know that.
Yesterday. And I was shitting my pants.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I always did a deal or two to keep me afloat. Okay?
Yeah.
But now it's, I mean, more and more and more are coming.
So
And
can I ask you where you're at now from like you just give us everyone a picture of let's go pre mind shift, pre fundamentals of business and learning some of these things, pre assistant versus now percentage wise. Like what's the increase?
oof,
Like did you
within the
like,
last 6 months,
so yeah, like the last year where you're at now,
from last year compared to last year to
that's what
this
I'm trying to say.
where we
Yeah.
are now. I'll be honest. Last year, I'll talk numbers. I don't care. Last year I think I did, and it was a decent year. I think it was just under 200.
Yeah.
Just under 200 grand last year.
Yeah.
And at this point right now,
So now just for people, because they won't have a time frame, this is August 14th right now. So we're right
so
smack
let's say
middle of the
six,
year.
yeah, six. So we're into it like half of the year.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think I'm at like 170,
Dude, you almost like your position to
almost
potentially
double.
double.
Yeah, almost.
Crazy, man. And
But
so
I mean,
that's,
sorry,
yeah,
I don't want to. I want to say paid. Okay, paid out.
whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter. Like you've got that banked or
It's
whatever.
close.
Like I'm just
Yeah,
saying that you've got approximately 170 worth of deals banked or it's all
yeah,
in there.
yeah,
Like it's just insane that you've already done almost the same amount of business as last year. It
yeah.
just blows my mind, man. Like I'm so freaking proud of you, man. Like it's really you. Like you got to realize this is you. I work with lots of people, dude. You just you just opened up and took it seriously and you really let it in. And I'm not talking about strategies. Like you let it in. Like you let it in hard.
But you know
Then
why? You
why?
know why? Because I had no choice. That's where I was at.
Wow.
I had no choice. I
Yeah.
remember. I remember competing. I think it's you and I we met at that what was it called? Not that where we met, but we ended up competing.
Did we?
That business group. What was that
Oh
thing
yeah,
called?
yeah, yeah. It wasn't me. It was Adam on my
Yeah,
team.
Adam. What was that thing called again?
BNI. It was a
Oh,
BNI
BNI.
group. He was trying to get in, and we were there. I was supporting him. Yeah,
So I made it. I think to the last three.
yeah,
That's what I was told.
yeah,
Anyway, but at that meeting, and I was thinking to myself, who and I made it so far where they started doing personal interviews with me,
yeah,
and one of the big chiefs or whatever came to one of the meetings and whatever, and trying to grill me about why they should pick me. I'm like, I really don't care. I said, I mean, I don't care if you pick me or if you don't pick me. I mean, I don't even know if I want to do business with you. I don't know you, you know. So I started thinking to myself, who do I want to do business with?
hmm
And okay, if you guys don't elect me or don't pick, I don't care. I'll go start my own. I'll go
yeah,
start my own
yeah.
group.
Yeah, totally,
You know.
totally.
So, so I mean, again, it's just changing your thinking. So one of the questions in the interview was, which I keep going back to, is they're like, why do you want this position? I'm like, because it makes me uncomfortable.
hmm
And one of the quotes that I read, over the years was, if you keep doing things that make you comfortable, you're never going to change. You're
Yeah,
always going to continue to do the same thing over and over again.
totally.
Which leads me back to you. You challenged us to do things that in the past would make me uncomfortable,
hmm
and I would shy away from it. Now I enjoy the uncomfortable.
You get it now.
Yeah, like
You get it.
I don't want to do it, but I'll do it.
Yeah,
You know,
dude, that's the secret, man. If that's really true what you're saying, and I really believe you, that's been my secret. Like
no,
I'm a mental guy like that. Like
yeah,
like as soon as I feel scared, I'm like, here I go. I'm doing
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like even speaking like who does I'm just doing my own cross Canada tour. I can go speak cross Canada. My legs shake every time, dude.
yeah.
But you know how awesome that is? That means I'm growing every single time.
Awesome. I love that. Love
Just
it.
love it. I'm so freaking like, that's why when someone meets me and they don't know me, or maybe they misunderstand me and I start challenging them because they've asked me to, and they're like, what the fuck? This is what I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. For like, it's almost like you don't know how good this is. And no, you don't know how good this is. You need to lean into those things. Like when you're scared, go toward it, get to know that thing. Like if you're scared of it, like you're going to be controlled the rest of your life and never hit your potential ever.
See, and
Ever.
another thing when other people whoever listens to this, what you can take from this was, in the beginning, for the longest time, I was always worried about, okay, I need to make these deals happen right away. Like I need quick money now. Okay. Now I'm at the point where I've evolved, where I have the assistant and I have everything falling into place. Now I'm thinking about, okay, now we need to plan for the next 6 months.
There you go.
Right. So I'm like,
right,
yeah,
that's
okay,
business.
right. So my whole total
Right now it's August. Okay.
yeah,
We're talking August is us, how well we're going to do in December.
100%.
Like, yeah, see, that's your thinking is just done. It's changed. Done.
Yeah.
Changes
Yeah.
everything. We've literally worked on the compass, dude. Like we got to set the compass. We got to set the directions. We got to, it's so cool to see. Okay. So I'm going to wrap it up here, Peter. I think what I want to do though is every guest I ever have, I always put myself, and it's funny that we're talking about challenged. I literally have designed the podcast I ask, I don't care who they are. I'm like, throw me a question. Something maybe a challenge or a question that you have for me, because I don't want to just sit here and be the guy that's just drilling questions. I don't mind. Yeah, I think it's cool to have a question. I can always learn something from people when I get questioned as well. So if you have a question for me, any question, is that a smirk you're getting? Oh, shoot.
Yeah. When are you taking me out for dinner?
That's it.
Actually, no, honestly, I mean, okay, here's a question for you.
Okay.
How do you come up with new ideas and new techniques that make your former ideas like not become so stale? Like, how do you, I mean, I know we're always we're being real and we're showing people who we really are. But then what? I mean, is there something else?
So how do I evolve and how do I come up with more things in business or
New idea,
life or
whatever?
So I feel like,
how do you come up with new ideas?
okay. So I think part of it is I'm intuitive. Okay. So I've got this weird, I don't know what it is, man. My first answer is, I don't know, it's popped in my head. But then if I really look at it, okay, I think if you can understand people, okay, humans and the psychology and understand yourself to a level that's like 10 times more than most people, okay, like if you can, like what you're talking about, Peter, is evolved. It's evolved. That's how I look at it. You have some evolved thinking because there's most people are still banging their heads against the wall. Okay. So I feel like there's an evolution of your thinking and you've pushed yourself to really understand yourself. But know what that's going to do is, man, you'll understand people. So if you can create a self-awareness. So for me, I've been so broken from the beginning. I had to figure out my life for the last 10, 15 years. I'm like a psychologist now. Yeah. So I understand myself and I've put myself under a coaching program that I probably put $150,000 into my coach before over the last 10 years or whatever it was, because I know what he does, challenge the shit out of me. And so I learned more about me, but this is the superpower. I want to know more. There's things about me that I don't know yet. Why do I react this way? Why aren't I doing this thing? Why am I changing again? This is my obsession. Because the more I learn about me, the more I understand you, Peter. So that's why when I met you, I just know. Yeah. Not because I know you, because I don't know you, but I know people. And I think what happens is if I say, I really connect to how I feel. So if I'm building a marketing plan, I'm going to to me, it's really simple. I'm like, do I like receiving a flyer? What do I do with that flyer? Right in the garbage. So then what could I do with that flyer that creates an emotional reaction and psychologically gives them something they need, which is, I understand, is everyone needs to be loved. This is the core. So when I come from, my ideas come from all of this base of self-understanding. And then all of a sudden I've got a pumpkin carving competition that I have 3 or 4 different steps. I get to meet with them. They get to feel amazing through the process. And it comes back to understanding human beings and understanding myself. Then you want ideas? Well, if the goal is to promote something, is the goal to whatever, right? Is the goal to, like, I just understand that, okay, if I'm going to do this, we got to make sure that it gives a lot of value and how would I like it? But self-understanding and understanding human beings and human behavior and understanding how connection happens. That's what I'm trying to get to is that's why put it this way. My wife used to say, Ben, you don't listen to me. Okay. Another one of my challenges. I got a whole bunch. You don't listen to me. I'm like, I listen to you completely. I just heard you say, you don't listen to me. I heard it.
But you don't know what she's saying.
No. I know, but it's yes. And so now I'm getting it.
Right.
And so now I'm going, oh, that customer is talking to me. I know what they're really saying. So I wasn't listening. And now I'm like, my marketing needs to have a way to really have people heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I start with like having a brutal marriage and being like a phoenix. We've pulled out of it, rising up, and we've got an amazing marriage now. But it came through understanding people. So very long answer is it's really self-understanding.
No, totally.
So where do you get ideas? I think they just pop into my head, but it comes through me. And it comes through understanding human beings and how to connect with them and what they want and how to make them feel loved. That's really what this is about.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree. Yeah.
Awesome, buddy. Anyways, if you have any last words or any kind of final remarks or smart ass remarks, that's fine too. We'll finish her up here.
Always reinvest. Everybody's scared to, like you're saying, I want to learn more. I want to learn more. Right? Everybody should, no matter if you start doing well, doesn't mean that you know everything now. You know,
100%.
there's always room for growth, and they should embrace that. Sometimes that maybe is going to cost you a little bit of more money, but you know what? The more you learn, the more you know, man. So every little bit helps.
Beautiful, man. Thanks so much for being on the show, Peter. Honestly, it's my privilege, for real.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, cheers.